Welcome to Season 2 of the Panther Podcast. We're continuing to tell the story of the Panthers, which are the faculty, administration, student body, alumni, and community who make up the Brookhaven School District in Brookhaven, Mississippi. In addition to the new episodes hosted by Superintendent Dr. Rod Henderson, you'll also enjoy behind-the-scenes documentary episodes along with promotional and educational videos that showcase various departments. Everything you see and hear are noteworthy pieces to the huge puzzle making up the Brookhaven School District. Watch, listen, and enjoy as the story continues into the 2024-2025 school year.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our latest episode of the Panther Podcast. I'm Dr. Rod Henderson, and my guest today is Mr. Tedrick Thompson. Mr. Thompson is one of our school safety officers, and he's at Mamie Martin. How you doing today?
Doing well. How are you?
Doing good. Look, I'm excited about this episode, and I've been knowing Mr. Thompson for a long time. I guess I can say all my life. Yeah. Actually, we grew up on the same block up there on 3rd Street, and we're just going to talk about his journey to where he is right now and some things also in the past. So, everything going good today?
Going well. Going well. No complaints.
No complaints at all.
That's right.
Absolutely. Look, tell us about your early life and your career, and just in general your journey going through the district, which you are a graduate of the Brookhaven School District.
I did.
And going journeying into college also. I know where you went to college, but I'm gonna let you talk about all of that though.
Well, I grew up here, born and raised here in Brookhaven. Was able to go through Brookhaven Public School District, able to come through and graduate from Brookhaven in 1992. Was able to play football here, and through playing football was given the opportunity to go to college on scholarship, where I went to play further education at Alabama State University in the SWAC. So was able to play against you, not directly across the ball from each other. Both of us were offensive linemen, but we were able to play against one another. So it was a great opportunity for me coming out of Brookhaven. So I'm truly thankful for the opportunity to be able to play here in front of my hometown, but also to play in college as well. So
now that's how the parallels are stunning for me as to how both of us basically grew up same neighborhood, 2 years apart. I was class of '90 and so on, and you went on to play at Alabama State with a couple more individuals from Brookhaven also. And again, we both were playing offensive line at the time, and back then Alabama State was loaded. Coach Houston Markham, who's also a Brookhaven native. We call him Popcorn.
Yes, that's right.
I actually was recruited by Coach Markham. I took a recruiting visit to Alabama State. Had a good time, and Coach Markham is a family friend, and he's also a funny person.
Very.
Tell us about some of those popcorn stories, because there's some good ones now.
Look, there's some stories that I could tell, and some I cannot tell. But all in all, he was a guy. I remember one time he called me into his office. I guess he was just trying to motivate me.
Right.
And he called me to his office, had me sit there for like 30 minutes, didn't say a word to me.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden he said, I just want to let you know that if I don't get a better effort out of you, I'm going to send you back to Brookhaven, and I'm going to let you figure out whatever you want to do there. And I was like, is that a threat? What is that? But he was just trying to figure out something to motivate me, something to get me going. Just wanted me to put a better effort out on the field, better performance on the field. And so, and it worked. It worked. And so, but I appreciate everything he got. He was a tough coach.
Right.
He was a tough coach. He wanted, he was one of those coaches that said he was trying to groom men, not just to be a ball player, but he wanted to have men to come out of his program that once they got into life, they would not face anything that they could not overcome.
Absolutely.
And so
I would say also, I played for Eddie Robinson, and the SWAC at that time had coaches like Eddie Robinson, Houston Markham, W.C. Gordon, Marino Chasm. All these individuals basically cut from the same cloth.
That's exactly
because the same stories you could tell, I could tell you the same stories about 4-hour practices, not 1 a day or 2 a day, but 3 a day practices and everything. We could sit here and share the same war stories. But at the end of the day, they were individuals who wanted to groom men. Men who can go out and be successful in the world, no matter where they were placed and whatever what they did,
right.
they would be successful. You know, because we sit around all the time and tell those war stories about how tough things were. And I'm gonna be honest with you, there were some days I was just wondering, what am I doing?
Look,
you know,
I'm ready to go home.
Exactly. That home seems like
right.
it's pretty nice right now.
Exactly.
But you know, scholarship and you're getting your education paid
Right.
and things like that, and able to travel the world. I remember we played Alabama State in Detroit one time. That might have been before you got there.
I think it was
91.
Yes.
It was 91, and they had Ricky Jones. They were loaded. Each year we played, it was a dogfight. They had a lot of talent. You know, they had a lot of individuals from there that went on to play professional ball. Reggie Barlow and others that went on and did great things. Y'all had a running back also. I can't remember. Brad Baxter. Brad Baxter played for the New York Jets, and several more individuals from those teams, the teams that I played on, that had a lot of individuals that went on to play professional also. So it was an honor to play in that league at that time because it was a lot of talent at that time.
Was. And we would go out and play on a Saturday, and you knew that when you played on a Saturday, there would be a few of those guys that would be in the NFL, that you'll be watching those guys playing in the NFL, you know, soon.
Yeah. So, but you were prepared because practice was so rough.
It was.
You know?
It was.
You were prepared. There was no doubt about it.
It was. Look, we would go out and I remember even preseasons, I had never before heard of 3-a-days.
Yes,
Look,
sir.
you know, you hear of 2-a-days.
Yes.
Never heard of a 3-a-day.
Yes.
But we would get up in the morning literally at 6. By the time we lay it down at night, it might be 7, 8 o'clock at night. And when you got done at the end of the night, you were done.
Yeah, and you were so robotic at that time because it was wake up, eat breakfast, go practice, come back, go to the weight room, have a meeting, try to get some sleep, get back up,
right,
go get lunch, go to practice, get through, go to meeting, go get dinner, go back out there on the field, have another meeting, and then wake up and do it all over again the next day.
Yeah.
You know, all of that was leading up to, to the season. And again, I think back on it, and I do wonder, how did I do that? You know, how did I make it through that, all of those years and so on. Right. But it prepared me.
It did.
It did prepare me. It taught me the meaning of hard work, beyond Brookhaven High School and so on. Because Coach Coleman worked us pretty hard also.
He did.
You know, he worked us pretty hard. But in order to go to that next level and be successful on that next level, you had to have a whole different mindset and work ethic by yourself.
You did. Going into college, it was just one of those things. And even when opportunity, after I've been out of school and had opportunities to coach, I would tell the young people that I would coach, the young men I would coach, I said, when you go to college, your mindset has to change. When you get there, it's still enjoyable, it's still fun,
right?
But you're going to work.
Exactly.
It's more so of a job because they're paying for your education.
Yeah.
And so they got to get something out of it.
And on top of that, now go to class and get your grades.
That's right.
That's number one. Do all of that.
That's right.
But let's touch on your coaching days too, because then let's move to that. You coach. You got into coaching. How did that come about right there? And talk about some of those teams that you coached.
Well, I actually started coaching in Hazelhurst.
Right.
First coach job went up to Hazelhurst to coach, brought in by Coach Todd McDaniels,
yes, sir.
Who I had known, who we actually played against as well. Him and his brother Timmy, Robert McDaniels, played against them. They were at Alcorn.
That's right.
And so kind of like it's a family, there's a group of people that you know. But my parents were administrators in Hazelhurst, so I knew a lot of people in Hazelhurst. I knew Ty, grew up with him. And so when he came back to Hazelhurst, got the head coaching position, he was trying to put a staff together. He asked me, would I come help? And so I came in to help him up there, and look, probably one of the most enjoyable times in my life to be able to come in. I always had a desire to coach, but I had just not gotten into it. But then once I got into it, it was just like fuel on the fire. But we're able to go up there. So I coached in Hazelhurst for 10 years.
Okay.
10 years with Todd McDaniels. In between there, had opportunity to coach with Randall Montgomery for 3 years, and then follow back up. Todd comes back, and I coached with him the last couple of years. So
I can honestly say, Hazelhurst was always, when I came back and coached, Hazelhurst was always on our non-district schedule, and that game was going to prepare us, for games like Macomb, games like South Pike, because they ran similar offense. They were wing T teams.
Wing T.
speed everywhere and things like that. That game was always going to be fun. It was going to be a dogfight. It was going to be a lot of talking.
Right.
A lot of talking. And it was going to be a dogfight, but it was going to be a game that was going to prepare us and make us better.
Right.
Talk about the state championship team.
Well, I had opportunity. Once Todd actually left, he took another job opportunity. New coaching staff comes in. Coach Montgomery comes in. I'm thankful to him because he could have come in and cleared the house.
That's right.
But he came in, gave all us an interview, and ended up that he kept all of us. He ended up keeping the whole staff, and he came in.
You don't see that a whole lot.
You don't. And he kept the whole staff intact. I think we might have had one coach that added on to the staff.
Okay.
But he came in and implemented his offense, and we had a really, really good team. We knew we were good, but we transitioned and I look back at it now, and I think what we did was it was difficult, but it wasn't in the same sense. We had good kids that were football kids,
and that helps.
And they loved it, and they wanted to grasp what we were doing because we went from a wing T offense.
That's right.
To a spread.
Sure did.
And when you've been doing wing T for years and years and years, and now you go to spread, we thought it would be a big change. Luckily, we had people on the staff who had played in college, who had college experience. I had played in college, had been coaching the wing T, so I knew the wing T. But I come out of Alabama State where we did some spread stuff, and so when we flipped the blocking schemes and that type of thing, it wasn't as hard to do. And so Montgomery came in, brought the spread with him, and came in, and we were able to make a run that year. We had the right athletes.
Right.
They accepted what we were coaching, and we was able to make a run that year and make it to the state playoffs. That year we ended up losing to Charleston.
Right.
That for his first year there. Come back the second year, we made a run again, went undefeated that year, we won it. And come back the third year, Montgomery was there, we made a run again, make it to the state championship, and we lose to Louisville.
Right.
And so I had three chances to play for a state championship, won one, lost two, but listen, it's nothing like it. I know you had an opportunity to win one, so it's...
I didn't get there 3 times. We got there one time, but to be able to get there 3 times, that's a big accomplishment right there. I don't think people realize how when those kids go into Mississippi Memorial Stadium, and see all those people there and see how big that stadium is, it's a little different.
It's a lot different.
Yeah, it takes a lot to get used to.
It does, and I don't know if you experienced this. It was different for our kids. The first time that we went there, when the game was over with, we got on the bus, we came home, we had lost to Charleston, and we got it back to the school, went in the coach's office, and we all looked at it up. We said it was too big for them. The scene, the scenery, it was too big for them. They had never played anything like that. But then we started thinking to ourselves, we said, we played in stadiums, in college. We played in big stadiums, big crowds. But it's different when you coach in it.
It is different.
It's different when you coach in it.
That's true. We came out, what was odd for us was we came out of a locker room in Mississippi Memorial Stadium that I didn't even know existed.
Yeah.
And so keep in mind, I played in Memorial Stadium against Jackson State twice. So I'm used to, coming out of the end zone and so on, or the opposite, it was end zone. Well, we came out of the middle. And I think for some reason, the locker rooms were under construction or something like that. We came out of the middle, and I said, this is new to me. So we come out of the middle on the side where our fans were. So we come out, I never turned around and look at the fans. I was just focused on what was going on the field. And I was like, man, Clarksdale is faster than what they look like on the field. And I told Coach Hardy, I said, Hardy, get everybody ready. Everybody who, even because we didn't go both ways a lot back then, but I said, those who can't go both, I said, get them ready, because I believe this might be a track meet, And at that time, I turned around and looked, and I saw everybody that was there. I said, oh, like Trevor said, this is bigger than a hot dog.
It is.
So this is bigger than a hot dog. So at that time, it was different, and you're used to the sights and sounds being right there on you.
Yeah.
At South Pike, they're right there on you. Even at home, they're not that far from you. But in a bigger stadium like that, the optics are different and everything is different, and you have to get used. And I think it took us at least till halftime to get used to it as coaches.
Right.
You know, so you're right about that.
Yeah, I mean, and you're trying to get yourself calmed down. You same time you trying to get the kids calm down, and you know the fans are still the fans.
Everywhere.
You still have the comments of the crowd,
Right.
and so you trying to pull everything in. But I do remember, just like you said, I remember coming on the field. I remember walking out and just trying to just take in the moment. But I remember looking up in the stands and I was thinking to myself, there is not one person left in Hazelhurst, Mississippi.
That's what I thought.
Everybody
Yeah.
had to have been there, you know. But we're thankful that that time we had fan support and stuff. So we came out and we played hard and you know, just didn't come out victorious that first year. But we had a kid. We had a kid that played for us, Demetrius Kane. Played for us. And when we lost that game that year, we came in the locker room and he stood up in front of the kids and rest of the team, and he told them, he said, we'll be back and we won't lose next year. And so that was real big when you have kids like that who invest in it, you know. And that's why that's like stuff like that is stuff I remember forever, and being able to be with kids like that, you know. So
it leaves a lasting impression.
it does. It does.
It leaves a lasting impression. Let's fast forward a little bit to where you are now, the school safety officer at Mamie Martin over there with the little bitty ones. It's always an adventure.
It is.
When you step foot
It is.
over there. Every time I go over there and see those little faces, they pick you up. I'm telling you that. So to be there every day, you know, just give us an idea of just a basic day, as to what that looks like.
I tell everybody, coming from high school when I was up at Hazelhurst coaching, and then coming back down here to Brookhaven and going to Mamie Martin, it's high fives and hugs. That's the way I explain it to everybody. High fives and hugs all day long.
That is true.
But we get over there in the morning and just kind of meet and greet with the kids as they're going around. Just try to kind of watch over campus and just make sure the campus is secure. Is what my daily task is, and just kind of just be present. Look, I spend a lot of time up in the front of school. You know, I'm from Brookhaven, so I know a lot of people. So people coming in and out, and so I talk to a lot of people and just try to hang around the front portion of the school. But just try to make sure that the school is secure, make sure the kids are safe, make sure the staff is safe.
Right.
You know,
and that goes two ways. You know, being from here, you know, people have a trust in nature,
Right.
and it's good to have a person in the face in that area where people know, oh, that's Ted, you know, and being able, hey, let me actually keep an eye on my boy. He might not be feeling well,
Exactly,
this or things like that. He's having this and that. But also too to just be that presence there for those kids,
right,
and for someone they can look to,
Yeah,
you know,
right.
Because I know every time that I go over there, you know, like you said, it's high fives and hugs. I try to make it fist bump because I've gotten sick over there multiple times. Got sick a couple of times. It was rough on me now, so it's more like
that's right. It will happen.
I give them that. So take that right there. You got that hip and that leg.
That's right.
That's good right there. So you take. But I love it when I go over them, and I try to tell the teachers too that they're special because you have to really have a heart for that age group. They're so impressionable at that time. They're young. They're learning. They're cutting the teeth, and they're basically their educational career is just not getting started.
Right.
So we have to have some people over there like yourself that will take time with them and tell them, you know, hey, it's going to be okay, or correct them, you know, tell them right for wrong and things like that. That's more or less what I like about the position in itself. You know,
it gives us an opportunity that we can invest into the young people. We can help direct them. You know, even me coming over before that, me and my wife, we had an opportunity. We owned a daycare center for 20 years in Brookhaven. So this is not my first rodeo with the young ones. I actually went from the daycare age student, daycare age child up to high school. Now I'm back now. You know, and so I'm kind of used to that. But it was fun then when we were operating and running our daycare center. It's still fun now. I love the young mind.
Yeah.
You know, the way that they look at stuff, the way that they view stuff, their idea and thoughts about different things. Look, it makes for a fun day.
It's refreshing
It
because they could ask some of the most interesting questions you ever, and it can stump you too. And sometimes I have to be like, well, I just don't know. I don't know.
Look,
you know.
That's right. They're not ashamed. They don't have a filter.
Exactly.
So they will say what comes to their mind,
Exactly.
and, you know. But which that gives them that freedom of expression. It gives them the ability to learn.
Exactly.
You know?
How is it when like when you have those that went through your daycare, and you see them now and they're doing different things,
Yeah.
and they come back to you and they're older and I don't know, maybe they're close to having kids and things.
Their
like
kids
that.
are there.
Exactly.
Their kids are there.
Wow.
They're coming in now, and I'm starting to see some of them. Actually, our first group, I guess, which was 25 years ago.
How about that?
20.
Wow.
Yeah, about 25, 26 years ago, who were our first group of kids that we had at daycare. Their parents now.
Wow.
You know. And so when we came in, they might have been like after schoolers or whatever in the program, 5-year-olds, and now they have children, and so they coming in like, hey, Mr. Ted, you know, because that's what they always call it daycare. Hey, Mr. Ted, and then I want to check my baby out. You know, I'm like, wow, you got it.
Yeah, man.
You know,
Make you feel old.
it does.
Yeah.
It does. But
Yeah.
look, thank the Lord, I'm getting older.
Oh yeah, and to be able to talk about
That's
it.
right. That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
So you're a pastor of a church.
I am.
Yeah,
I am.
Well, tell us about that. Tell us about that.
Been pastoring now for going on 8 years.
Really?
No, I take that back. Going on 7 years pastoring.
Wow, it just
Going
seemed
on
like it
7
was
years
yesterday
past-
when
yeah.
you took over. Yeah.
It went by fast. I started right there before COVID, 16, 17, and then COVID hit. And so COVID kind of just put a stop on everything as far as churches. But since we've been back, everything been going well. So I've been enjoying it. I love that portion, and that's one thing that kind of pulled me away from football. Football was my first love.
Yeah.
And then when God called me to say, listen, I want you to start preaching, and I started ministering, and then had an opportunity to pastor. He said, well, you know, I feel you with something else that you will enjoy as well. So,
Union Grove in the Weston.
Union Grove, I pastor Union Grove Missionary Baptist Church in the Weston on Timberlane Road. So, great group of people. I came to the church and with a group of people who had a big heart. And so it's been fun. I fell in love with them, and they fell in love with me, and so we have a good time together and growing and just trying to grow the ministry, grow the church, try to better the community and the body of Christ. So
You have to have a heart for all of those things. Now, just think about all the things that you've been involved with.
Right.
Daycare, you over with the little bitty babies there, and pastoring the church, and so on. That's like being a leader of people.
Right.
You know? And I think people have to understand when you are a leader of others, it's a big responsibility.
it is.
And you have to take it serious.
It is.
So you've really been in a position like that almost all your life.
Yeah.
You know. So that tends to wear on you though, right? I'm getting
it
somewhere with this.
It definitely does.
So what do you do, you know, to decompress, you know, to relax? What does Tedrick do, you know, on a day where he can just relax?
I just like to just kind of just get away.
Okay.
And I tell people this, and I tell my church this too. Probably some of my greatest times of quiet and peace is just riding in my truck.
Come on. Okay. Simple as that.
I get in my truck, I turn the music down. I don't want the music, I don't want anything. I just want quiet, and I ride.
Right.
And I think, and that's one thing. Outside of that, just what I like to do. I like to play golf. I don't play as much as I would like to. I get a chance to go out sometime with my pastor and a couple more friends that I have here in town that play. We get an opportunity to go out and play and swing the club. So I definitely like to do that. I'm not very good at it. I can't do it for support. I just do it for the sport.
Right.
And so, but it gives me an opportunity.
Can't do it for the support. I do it for the support. See, I'm on the support end now. I'm not going to comment on my golf game because my golf game is just one big right slice.
Right.
I'm not disciplined enough. I've told this before. I want to hit the ball sound, when I hit it, I like to hit it too hard, so then it goes right every time.
Yeah.
So I don't deserve to play golf anymore. I'm wasting time and money.
Right.
Yeah.
But I love it. Golf was that thing for me because you can't understand. It's hard to understand why you can't make this ball go where you want it to go.
Exactly.
And so it's humbling. It will humble you.
It humbled me enough to make me stop playing it. I am humbled.
And so, but it's that challenge of just going want to hit that good shot, and that it's that drive, just want to continue to just do better and have a good game. So I like to do that as well. And other than that, it's just kind of family time. Just family time. Of course, I still love football. So if I get a chance to go to a game, like I'm gonna be Friday night lights. I still love that. Still love the opportunity to go back to my university, go back to Alabama State and watch games on Saturday if I can catch them. Schedule allow. So that's pretty much what my
we're very similar. We do a lot of the same things. A lot of the same things, and so, but you do have to have that time and that moment where, you can relax into yourself. And it could be as simple as just sitting in your chair at home and watching a game, but you have to have something. I encourage everyone, make sure you have something that you do. Now, hobby-wise, any hobbies or just?
I like to cook.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. So here we go. Since you said that.
Since I said that.
What's your favorite meal that you cook?
Probably steaks.
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 Tell us how you do it. I need to hear this. Because I haven't had one of the steaks, but that needs to change now.
Well, look, I just do just regular. See, I'm not that person that just does a whole bunch of stuff to it. I kind of just get them room temperature. I just try to prepare them, use some type of marinade, put me some seasoning on them, just salt and pepper, little garlic powder, and then I just put it on the grill.
See, I know he knows what he's talking about. Because that's the key. A lot of people put all these exotic things on it. Steak only needs something simple. Yeah. And it doesn't take a whole lot of time to cook it.
And I'm that person that I'm not big. I used to. Growing up, I had steak sauce all the time. Oh, okay. Now I'm that person that I want to taste the steak.
The steak needs to speak for itself.
Speaks for itself. So that's the place
I try to tell my sons that they want A1 on everything.
Everything.
No, man. When I cook that steak needs nothing.
Yeah.
All it needs is for you to put that fork into it, that knife, and put it in your mouth. Don't worry about no steak sauce.
Look, I'm even at the point now. I've been watching like the little things on social media. Yeah. Now I'm trying to learn how to build the little butter compound.
Oh well,
That's my next thing.
Okay, so there you
my
go.
Next task.
Yeah, when you master that, let me know.
So I
can be the one that taste test that.
That's right.
Yeah. So that's your favorite meal that you cook. What about the favorite meal that you have without cooking? Just a meal. What meal would you like? Just your go-to meal.
Cook. Okay. Just out and about.
Out and about. Your favorite meal?
Outside of steak, pasta.
Pasta. Any kind of pasta?
Seafood pasta.
Seafood pasta.
Love it.
Seafood pasta.
Love it.
Okay.
Yeah, seafood pasta.
Seafood pasta.
If we put steak and seafood pasta together,
that's it.
I'm in heaven. Yeah. It'd be like the Lord has spoken.
Steak and seafood pasta.
Look, now I don't know what my doctor would say about it.
Okay.
But I will be happy.
I agree with that. All good things are not, supposedly the doctor have an issue with those things.
Yeah.
So but you just picked two things there, and from a steak standpoint and seafood pasta. Right. I know some other individuals that would agree on that. I live with one who loves seafood pasta.
That's right.
And probably if it's not shrimp and grits, it's going to be seafood pasta for her. Yeah. And I make fun of it because I'm like, try something different. Do something different, but it's still seafood pasta.
Look, and I'm that way. Like I'm gonna stick to what I like, and that steak is my thing. What I like to cook, and then we have the seafood pasta. We going out to eat and stuff. Now, if I'm at home, and this has forever been my home meal, It's fried chicken,
Okay.
rice and gravy,
Yep.
and cabbage.
Oh wow.
If I get that,
Yeah.
I'm a happy man.
You're good.
I'm good.
It's gonna be good stuff that night.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah. Fried chicken followed by rice and gravy and whatever.
Whatever.
And whatever.
Right.
You know, greens, cornbread, or peas. You can't go wrong with
No,
that.
you can't go wrong with it.
You know, so.
But you know, we from Mississippi,
That's
so
right.
we, you know,
That's right.
we'll take the
Absolutely.
home cooked meal is what it's all about.
You like grilling?
I do.
Okay.
I do like grilling. I'm still. I have to be honest. My grilling is okay.
Okay.
But it can be. I try too much stuff.
See that. I'm glad you said that.
Experiment too much.
See that, and see here's where he's going with that. What he's saying is he's got his basic things that he grills.
I do.
I'm just
Right.
gonna fill in the blanks because this is me also. And then that fire is still going really nice.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go in the house. I'm gonna pull out those frozen sausages in there that's been sitting there for a minute.
Right.
And what about this fish over here? I'm gonna
Yeah.
go ahead and grab it. I'm gonna keep going.
And
You
have
know,
all
until
kind of
that
stuff.
fire goes out. And my wife talks about me all the time.
Yeah.
I don't have to do all that. I don't need to do all that.
Look.
You know, but look here, I make an effort. I don't think my chicken game is where it needs to be. I've grilled wings, but I either go too long or not long enough.
Yeah.
So I kind of stay away from the chicken. But everything else, even ribs, I've gotten better at ribs.
Yeah, I have.
You know, I've gotten better at ribs, but as far as chicken is concerned, I need a little work on chicken.
Yeah, chicken is kind of hard to cook. I mean, you really have to babysit it if you.
And that's my problem.
You have to babysit it.
That's my problem. I want something I can put on there and just put that timer on and then come back. We still good. Chicken, you gotta peek at chicken quite often.
You do,
because if you don't, it'll get away from you.
You do, and so that's the whole thing. Yeah. But I've done better with ribs. Got better with ribs. The one thing I have not really cooked that I want to cook though is a brisket.
Also, me also.
I want to cook a brisket.
I'm afraid to go down that street because first of all, they're
expensive.
expensive, and if I burn it,
I'm gonna be
hot. I'm gonna be hot, man. So
Look,
I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna try it one day. You know,
and my family gonna be mad at me and say you gotta eat it anyhow.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna eat it anyhow.
So we on the same page with that. Though. Well, I appreciate you coming on.
Man, I appreciate the opportunity to come. Yeah,
great conversation, and just again, an opportunity for us to pull the curtain back and introduce some of our staff, you know, to the world. And I appreciate you coming on.
Well, I appreciate you having me. Appreciate you having me.
And that will bring it in to our latest episode of the Panther Podcast. I want to thank Mr. Tedrick Thompson again for coming on. And keep in mind that it's always a good day to be a Panther. Thank you all.
Thanks for tuning in to the Panther Podcast. Subscribe, like, and share to be notified for future episodes. We'll talk to you soon.